Did you know what people think when they reject you or show no interest in you? People anticipate your downfall, as it's a common occurrence. You shatter, you pursue, and you succumb to the temptation of demonstrating your value to someone who didn't deserve it initially. They expect you to beg and chase after them, like a lost traveler in a storm desperately looking for shelter. Don't pretend that you're unaware of this, as it's something you deeply understand. The smirk behind their rejection, the way they brushed off your worth as if you were just a page in their story that they could rip out and throw away. Yes, we've talked about this a million times. The aftermath, the wreckage. They think they know what will happen next, like they wrote the script for your life. They expect you to cry out loud. They picture you throwing and turning in agony while staring at a ceiling that doesn't answer your questions. People see your silence as weakness, not strength, because you won't eat or breathe deeply. You may have been there and done that before, playing the part they put you in, but what they really want is for the fire to come, an anger that is blinding. You feel reckless anger, the kind that makes you lash out, make mistakes, and show them they were right about you the whole time. But here's what you don't want to see. They didn't expect anything positive from you. No healing, no growth, no triumph. Just pain and destruction. And every second you live your life according to what they want, you give them the pen and let them write all over the pages of your story. You let them pull the strings, making you their puppet and dancing to the beat of rejection they set for you. Who taught you that loving someone required destroying yourself? Who told you that the only way to stay in their world was to sacrifice your pride, peace, and dreams? Did someone tell you this story as a child? Were movies, songs, or your heart telling you that more pain spells more love? Let me ask you this. If love is meant to lift you, why are you the one crawling? Why is it that in their presence your wings shrink, your voice grows quieter, and your light dims? Who taught you to build a pedestal so high that they could look down on you while you crushed yourself under its weight? Love shouldn't feel like chains tightening around your soul. It shouldn't be like kneeling on shattered glass, hoping they'll notice your bleeding hands and offer a bandage. It's not locking yourself in a prison you built and handing them the key. And yet here you are, convincing yourself that this is how it's supposed to be, that love requires suffering, silence, and surrender. But here's the truth you need to hear, as raw and unfiltered as it gets. You didn't fall in love. You fell into a trap where you allowed their needs, their opinions, and their validation to define you. You allowed their rejection, their silence, and their coldness to dictate your worth. And now you sit there, hands trembling, waiting for them to decide if you're enough. Enough for what? For someone who couldn't see your light when it shone the brightest, for someone who was so blind to your value that they mistook your loyalty for desperation. No, stop right there. Let me tell you this. If someone cannot respect the love you give, it's not your love that's lacking, it's their capacity to receive it. Now is the moment to awaken, release your bonds, and reaffirm that you are the author of this life, not someone who failed to recognize your value. And my friend, when you rewrite the story they once believed to be unchangeable, you'll become more than a mere plot twist. You'll be the unexpected conclusion they never anticipated. Therefore, how will you cease to weep, implore, and remain in this dreadful, dimly lit room? You're going to rewrite the script of your life. They believe they have a deep understanding of you, and they anticipate your destruction. But let me ask you something. What's stronger than their ego? I'm referring to your silence, and I'm not referring to the weak, meek silence that society often encourages, the kind of silence that causes you to fade away. The silence I'm referring to is so loud and bright that it blinds those around it. I'm not referring to the traditional definition of silence. No, we're not going to talk about the manipulative silence that everyone talks about. Every day you consume this silence, a simmering reservoir of resentment, hoping others will share your suffering. No, that silence will kill you. We will discuss the silent transformation, a profound silence that transforms you from within. This is the silence that makes you the ruler of your kingdom. You are the king or queen of your own fate and the leader of your own empire. Attention demands respect and leads to change. The silence I'm referring to not only closes the undeserved chapter in your story, but also ushers in a new one where you stand tall, crowned, and untouchable. Are you ready to claim it? Then say with me, I am the ruler of my world. My silence is my crown, and my strength will rewrite the story they thought they controlled. Now drop this little line in the comments to let me know you're with me. I'm not here to talk to the winds. I'm here to talk to you. Is this video hitting home for you? Is it helping you see things you've never seen before? Epictetus, a famous Stoic, once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." That's right. You're going crazy over someone who wouldn't sleep over you, who walked all over you and treated you like trash, but you're hoping they'll wake up and realize how valuable you are. But even if they did, what does it say about you that you're waiting for small signs of appreciation from someone who couldn't value you when you gave them everything? It was Marcus Aurelius who said, "Realize that you have power over your mind, not over outside events. Find strength in this." Now let me tell you what he wasn't saying. He wasn't telling you to waste your power trying to control what other people think or feel about you. He wasn't telling you to waste any more energy chasing someone who's already made it clear they don't care, but you're still hoping they'll see your worth. The real wound, which you haven't yet realized, is that you're pleading with a blind person to recognize a masterpiece. So who's the fool? Others may advise you to engage in the silent game, which entails remaining silent and hoping that your absence will cause them to miss you and feel remorseful about their loss, leading to their eventual return. That's a scam. It's manipulation dressed up as empowerment, and I can tell you it doesn't work because you can't control them. Just know that today's silence is for you, not them. It's the kind of silence that doesn't demand attention or approval. It's the kind of silence that roars with self-respect and echoes with power, making you the ruler of your own damn kingdom. Instead of waiting for them to realize what they lost, realize what you've always had within this silence. Stop giving someone power who doesn't deserve it. Stop letting their lack of knowledge about your worth keep you from realizing what you're worth. This is your life, your story, and your crown to wear. Never again for them. Now, let's immerse ourselves in a silence that will rebuild you, not out of retaliation, but out of resurrection. Not out of regret, but for your reign. Let's start with the broken throne you built for them. You didn't just offer power. Brick by brick, you built a throne with your own hands. Every time you gave up something or lowered your standards to meet theirs, it became part of the structure. They're now sitting there, unaware of the damage they've done to your life. Think about why you thought they deserved that throne. You told yourself it was love, right? All the movies, books, and songs teach us that love is about sacrificing everything, even if it breaks you. But here's the truth. Love isn't slavery. Don't let anyone tell you that love is. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." What quality of thoughts were you living with when you decided their happiness was worth more than your own? Because let's be real, this isn't about them anymore. It's about why you believed they deserved your crown. That throne you built. It's not indestructible. In fact, it's cracked, broken, and ready to collapse. Why? Because it was built on a foundation of your insecurity. Every time you begged for their attention, you weakened its base every time you tolerated their disrespect. Another crack formed, and yet you kept building, convincing yourself that if you just worked harder, loved deeper, or gave more, they'd finally see your worth. But let me ask you this. Do you think a throne built on brokenness can ever hold someone up? No. All it does is collapse under its own weight, taking you down with it. Here's the hardest truth you'll hear today. They never asked for the throne, you gave it to them. You gave them the keys to your kingdom, and then acted surprised when they didn't treat it with care. You were so busy trying to make them see your worth that you didn't realize you were becoming blind to it yourself. Epictetus said, "At best it is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. They didn't see your value because they were never looking for it, but the real tragedy, you thought their recognition would define your worth." Maybe you're asking yourself now, why did I do it? Why did I sacrifice so much for someone who treated me like nothing? Here's the answer. You were scared. Scared of losing them. Scared of being alone. Scared that if you didn't give everything, you'd end up with nothing. But that fear was a lie. Marcus Aurelius says that you choose what goes on in your mind, not what happens in the outside world. When you understand this, you will feel stronger. You had no say over how they treated you, but you did have a say over how you treated yourself. It's time to take down that throne. Peace, one brick at a time. Get back what's rightfully yours. Your time and energy are worth something. Do not belong to someone who cannot see your light. They belong to you, as the crown was never yours in the first place. It was never theirs. You just forgot how to sit on it. So, will you continue to inflict pain on yourself to prop up a throne for someone who doesn't deserve it? Or will you reclaim what was always yours and rebuild it for yourself? Because you are the master of your life. Your silence is your crown, your strength is your foundation, and your worth is limitless. Right now, write it in the comments. I take back my throne and remind you that this is only the beginning. The silent revolution is coming next, and I promise you that you won't want to miss it. Let's rebuild your country together and stay tuned for number 2. No one spoke during the revolution. If you've learned anything, it's that remaining silent signifies weakness, surrender, or giving up. They want you to think that the only way to show how valuable you are is to fight, argue, beg for attention, or scream until they finally hear you. But let me tell you something. Power doesn't have to yell or persuade, it's already there. It is so profound and unyielding that it causes the ground they stand on to tremble. Let me clarify. I'm not referring to the previous silence. Silence is the state in which you eagerly anticipate their absence. It's a trap whose poison eats away at your soul while they live. I'm referring to a unique type of silence, a sound that isn't empty. It represents growth and change, and its raw power speaks louder than words. When they turned you down, they expected you to break down and lash out, spiraling into chaos as you tried to prove your worth. That's the game they thought you'd play, but you don't. You don't fight, you don't explain, and you don't give them the satisfaction of knowing they scared you. Instead, you stay quiet, not because you're weak, but because you know it's the smart thing to do. Silence isn't passive, it's active. It's taking back your energy and focusing it on yourself. It's refusing to fight battles that don't help you reach your higher mission. Think about it. You could have built your kingdom in that second instead of trying to prove yourself to someone who doesn't see your worth. If someone isn't aware they're in the presence of royalty, Epictetus once said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." This is what silence does for you. It lets you decide who you are without outside opinions getting in the way. You start to hear your own voice again in this silence. It reassures you that you were always sufficient, even when others couldn't perceive it. But let me ask you something. Why are you still holding on? Why are you still hoping they'll miss you and regret losing you? If you recognize your value, they won't miss you because they've already demonstrated their worth to you. Marcus Aurelius said it best: you control your mind, not outside events. To find strength, remember this: you can't change their sorrow or realization, but you can change what you do next. What you do next is to rise, but not with anger, vengeance, or the need to prove anything. Rise in silence, by making your life so powerful, fulfilling, and undeniably radiant that their absence doesn't matter. We're discussing silence today, not for them, but for you. The quiet of leaving their chaos and noise and entering your kingdom's peace and power. This is your revolution, the silent revolution. Avoid waiting for others to notice you. Notice yourself. Stand tall, wear your crown, and know that you're building a kingdom for your own peace, joy, and happiness, not their approval. There is no stop here. Your reign rests on this foundation. So how do you initiate this revolution? Avoid reacting, explaining, and pursuing arguments every time you feel the need to prove your worth. Remember that your silence is your power. When you stay silent, you take back a piece of yourself, you build your kingdom, and you tell yourself and everyone else that you are in charge of your life. Write this in the comments right now. I rise up in silence. Allow it to be your answer. This isn't the end, it's the beginning of your reign, I said. What comes next is the crown that was always yours. Stay with me, because the next chapter will show you who really holds the crown. Okay, so who really holds the crown? You've been acting like they make all the decisions and control your life. But let's get one thing straight. In your story, they only felt like royalty because you gave them the crown. You gave it to them when you put their ideas ahead of your own. You gave it to them when you let their rejection happen. Define your worth. You gave it up every time you put their comfort ahead of your own growth, but they don't want you to know that the crown was never yours. It wasn't theirs to begin with. They didn't work for it or build it, and they definitely don't deserve it. The crown was always yours. You just forgot how to wear it. Now, I have a question for you. Why are you bowing down to someone who doesn't know how to rule? Why are you trying to prove your worth when it's obvious? You're tearing yourself apart, trying to make them see something they can't see. But let me tell you the harsh truth. You don't need their valid approval to wear your crown. You don't need their sorrow to show how valuable you are. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Don't waste time arguing about what a good man should be one." That's it. Don't argue, explain, or wait. Just be. Take charge of your own kingdom. Be the type of person who doesn't need other people's approval to shine. It appears that you regard this individual as the sun, and your entire existence revolves around them. However, I have some bad news for them. You are the sun, the light, and the force that propels everything forward. Stop dimming your light for someone who can't handle it, and stop chasing someone who can't even see what's in front of them. Freedom, the only worthwhile goal in life, can only be achieved by ignoring unchangeable things. This is about giving them control they never had and linking your freedom to their decisions, feelings, and actions. But here's the truth. You'll never be free as long as you're waiting for someone else to confirm your crown. So who really has the crown? It's not them. You always had it, but now you must take responsibility for their treatment. You can't sit around feeling sorry for yourself and waiting for someone to save you. Instead of waiting for salvation, rulers rise, seize control, and assert their rightful claim. Let's talk about what this crown really means. What the crown represents is power, not superiority or dominance. It's about choosing yourself over and over again, even when it's hard. It's about making your life so powerful and fulfilling that you don't need anyone else to finish it. But maybe you're wondering how to take back the crown. They tried to make you forget who you are, so look in the mirror and remember who you were to stop giving them power. You must first decide right now that their rejection doesn't define you, their silence doesn't weaken you, and their indifference doesn't determine your worth. The crown is yours when you choose to own your story, when you stop chasing, explaining, and begging. Let go of the thought that their regret or care will make you whole. Now, I'll pose the question once more. Who truly holds the ultimate authority? Write it in the comments. I have the cap right now. Say it aloud, because what's next is burning the old map and making a new one. A new way. Let's rebuild your country and make it strong. Stay with me. Leave the old form of yourself behind in the next chapter and step into your power. Let's go to number 4. Throw away the old map and chart. You've been following the same plan for too long. They made you a map that was full of false leads, dead ends, and paths that always led back to pain. You thought that if you kept walking and following their trail, you'd find what you were looking for: love, acceptance, validation. However, the reality is that this map never intended to lead you to any meaningful destination. It's time to burn it. Their map showed their view of your life based on their needs and their inability to see your value. Every line on that map, every road they made was a trap, a loop meant to keep you in their circle, chasing their approval while they sat back and enjoyed seeing you work yourself up. Let me ask you something. How many times have you gone down the same road only to end up back where you began? How many times have you given them another chance, hoping that this time would be different? How many times have you told yourself, if I just work harder, love deeper, and give more, they'll see how valuable I am? But they never do they? Marcus Aurelius said that what stops people from acting moves them to act, and what's blocking your way right now is the old map, the belief that their approval of you determines your worth, and the belief that you must follow their path to be happy. But what if you stopped walking their road and began building your own? To do that, you must let go. Give up the map, the idea that their approval is the goal, and the belief that their attention will bring you peace. The truth is, their plan didn't aim to guide you towards happiness, but to keep you adrift. Set the map on fire. Watch as the flames burn away all of your false hopes, harmful beliefs, and lies you told yourself to justify their behavior. As the smoke rises, remind yourself that you're not lost and that you're free. You may be wondering, if I burn the old map, where do I go from here? The answer is simple. You chart another path, but this time it's not for them, it's for you. This is your trip. Start small with what you want in life. Don't ask what they want or what will make them notice you. Ask yourself what you want and what they will regret losing you. He asked, "What do you want? What kind of life do you want to build? What kind of person do you want to become?" Without self-control, no one is free, and this new road is about reclaiming your time, energy, and dreams. It's about making your life so full and rich that you don't need anyone else to finish it. It won't be easy. This new path is uncharted territory, and you'll want to turn around sometimes. But remember, the old road is full of broken promises and lost time, and every step you take on your new path is a step away from something better. Now is the time to ignite your journey out of pain and towards the life you truly deserve. I'm making my own way right now. Let this serve as your declaration, your pledge to yourself, for the future doesn't revolve around seeking retribution or validation. Rather, it's about building a life so robust that it speaks for itself. It's about understanding that the deception of seeking retribution or validation isn't worthy of your time. Don't leave me yet, because the next part will change how you see everything. Let's go. Number 5. The lie of renown and approval. Renown and approval are twin lies. They say, we tell ourselves to make sense of rejection and pain. You make promises of happiness and peace, hoping to make them regret leaving you. Imagine a scenario where they witness your success, break down, and plead for a chance they will never have. It sounds like a dream, but let's take a closer look. Is it real, or is it just another lie meant to keep you trapped? If someone hurts you, you should get even with them. Validation tells you that if they didn't see your worth, they should. Both of these phrases sound positive, but they're actually chains that hold you back. You are bound by someone who no longer deserves your time or energy. Marcus Aurelius said that the best way to get revenge is not to be like your enemy. While you may feel temporarily relieved as you imagine their plight, each step you take towards retaliation is a step back into their world, their chaos, and their control. The power to tell you what to do and think remains. The meaning of your life and seeking approval is just another form of begging. You're still saying, "Look at me, see me, acknowledge me." Why should someone who didn't recognize your value in the past be in charge of your self-esteem? They didn't see it then, and what changes now? I want to know if you want them back, or just to miss you. Do you want them to see how valuable you are, or are you still trying to convince yourself of that? The harsh reality is that their opinions don't define you. If you want to improve, you must accept the notion that you are foolish and stupid. That's the real challenge, isn't it? Letting go of the need to prove anything to anyone, being okay with living your life without their approval. Revenge and validation are lies because they make you think your power comes from their reaction. Real power comes from you. It comes from moving forward and making your life so fulfilling that their absence doesn't matter. It's about making yourself proud of what you've become. Let go of your dreams, your what-ifs, and the never-ending cycle of trying to make them feel something through your silence, your success, and the changes you've experienced. Write that in the comments. That's all you need to say. I gave up on revenge. Be your statement of freedom, because what's next is announcing your kingdom and becoming the leader you were meant to be, not chasing them. Stay with me, because the magic happens in the last affirmation. Let's move on to number 6. The final affirmation reads, "Your kingdom." It's time to stop looking back, stop defending yourself, and stop giving your power to people who didn't deserve it. Now is the time to become the ruler of your own kingdom. But let's get one thing clear. This isn't about anyone else. It's not about making them feel bad. It's not about proving them wrong. And it's not even about showing the world how valuable you are. This is a personal declaration, emphasizing that your life is solely yours. Consider this. You've dedicated a significant amount of your life to pleasing others, striving for their approval and acceptance, yet it has only resulted in suffering, fatigue, and a sense of emptiness. Now you're at a crossroads. You can keep going down that path of self-sacrifice and regret, or you can turn around and declare your kingdom. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Look deeply into yourself, and there is a source of strength that will always spring up if you will always look." That strength has always been inside you. You just buried it under the weight of other people's expectations, opinions, and rejection of your worth. It's time to find it again. Your kingdom is not some faraway dream. You won't find it by chasing other people or begging for small amounts of their attention. Your kingdom is right now. It's in the decisions you make every day. It's in the limits you set. It's in the moments you choose for yourself, even when it's hard. It's in the moments you choose to be alone. Declaring your kingdom means taking back everything they tried to take from you: your time, energy, confidence, and joy. It means telling yourself, "I am enough," not because someone else told you so, but because you believe it. It means realizing that you don't need anyone's permission to live a life that feels whole, powerful, and free. Epictetus believed that freedom is the only worthwhile goal in life, and you can't get it by chasing worthless people. After letting them go and realizing that your life is your masterpiece and you alone can paint it, you find freedom. So here's the question. What does your kingdom look like? Is it based on their approval or on your strength? Do you shrink yourself to fit into their world, or do you stand tall, unapologetic, and unshakable? This is your final affirmation. Right now, write it in the comments. Say it with conviction. I declare my kingdom. This isn't just a phrase, it's a promise to yourself to never do that again. Don't let other people tell you how much you're worth. Declaring your kingdom transforms your energy, perspective, and everything else. You cease pursuing unsuitable opportunities and begin drawing in the ones that align with your intentions. In reality, you have always held the position of authority. All you need to do is seize your throne and usher in your rule. Your journey truly commences here, yet our work is far from over. In the final chapter, we'll discuss legacy, what you leave, what you build, and how to secure this change forever. Stay with me until then. In conclusion, we remember a real ruler not for the crown they wore, but for the kingdom they built, the lives they changed, and the legacy they left behind. That's what this is about, your legacy. When people talk about your name, what will they remember about you? It's not about getting back at someone or proving them wrong. A real leader doesn't waste time on small fights or short-lived approval. Instead, they rise above because they understand that their power lies not in what others think of them, but in the impact they make on the world. Everything that went wrong, every rejection and every moment of pain didn't mean to break you. Instead, it shaped you, sharpened your skills, and prepared you for the moment when you truly understood who you really were. As Marcus Aurelius said, what we do now will echo forever. This is the truth of a ruler's legacy. Every decision and action you take leaves a mark. The mark you leave starts with the kingdom you build. And let's be clear, your kingdom isn't some far-off dream. You create your life every day through the relationships you care for, the interests you pursue, and the limits you set. It's about how you treat yourself and how you teach others to treat you. Stop waiting for someone else to tell you how valuable you are and let you live the life you deserve. Epictetus asserted that achieving greatness requires time and effort, just as building a legacy does not happen overnight. But every step you take, every choice you make to put yourself first, and every moment you choose growth over stagnation, that's how your kingdom grows. Don't just leave, be a real leader, and show others what's possible when you refuse to give up and let failure or rejection stop you. Define yourself. That's your strength. That's your heritage. But maybe you're wondering, what if I fail? What if I can't build something as amazing as I imagine? Let me tell you something. Failure is not the end. It's a part of the journey. Every ruler stumbles, and every kingdom faces problems. But what sets a real ruler apart from the rest is the ability to rise again and again, no matter how many times they fall. Your legacy isn't about being perfect, it's about sticking with it. You must demonstrate to yourself and others that you can persevere. So what will your legacy be? Will it be the tale of someone who surrendered, allowing pain and rejection to strip away their strength? Or will it be the tale of someone who rose, reclaimed their throne, and crafted a life so impactful that it defied disbelief? Right now, write this in the comments. I leave my mark, saying it with passion. Let it be your message to everyone and to yourself, because your heritage doesn't start tomorrow, next week, or whenever you feel ready. It starts now. Now, I'm going to share with you another important message. Everyone is watching, except those who hurt or degraded you. The people who matter are watching, the ones who need your strength. Your strength is your example. When you rise, you don't just rise for yourself. You rise for everyone who looks up to you. Now is your chance. Now is the time to choose what kind of leader you want to be. Will you let the past define you, or will you write a new story about how strong, powerful, and outstanding you are? After reclaiming your throne, burning the old map, and declaring your kingdom, it's time to make sure that what you've built lasts forever. The memory of a true ruler is unbreakable, undeniable, and unforgettable. That's what you're building. That's who you are. Let's do it. Let's do it. If this message spoke to you deeply, please hit the like button below the video and subscribe, because there's so much more on the way to keep you rising and stepping into your power. Additionally, share this video with someone who is in need or on the verge of a breakthrough. You never know whose life you might change. Let's build this kingdom together, one step, one choice, one legacy at a time. You're not just a viewer here, you're a part of something bigger.